Hello and welcome to Fruit Farm, scenario number 35 in our quest to play every scenario in Open RCT2. Today's goal, 1,100 guests in the park at the end of October, year 2, short scenario, with a park rating of 600. And we have, as the name might imply, a thriving fruit farm that has built a railroad to boost its income, and our job is to develop it into a full-blown amusement park. Right off the bat. Lots of scenery. We don't have as much as evergreen gardens, but there are still some pathways that are a little convoluted. We probably shouldn't, keep all this stuff in here. But we do have a train that can go around. Of course, this is a RollerCoaster Tycoon 1 scenario. So, in theory, in Open RCT2, we can charge for both the rides and the park entrance fee. But the spirit of the original game, this is a charge per entry park, not charge per ride. So I'm going to respect that. But you might notice the miniature railroad is, not a transport ride. There are not stations here that we can utilize. So what we're going to need to do is build some. And this is not really a tremendously useful track in terms of doing any amount of, anything. But we can still put in a couple more stations here. That should be adequate there. I am also going to redo these paths at some point. But I thought, based on how this is going here, around here, that would be a nice stop there. This goes around here. Nice stop here, and then that goes back around. That should be fine. 3 stations should be pretty adequate without too much complaining. So just get that going in there. And then this is one of those areas, set this to dirt, and this I think is yellow. Yes. This is one of those areas where the pathing is just ridiculously complex for absolutely no reason, and we probably should be doing something about that, but we've got enough other stuff going on to kind of occupy us for the time being. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just have this path go straight through, and I'm going to disconnect that, and I guess this also, because we don't have to have those guys taking care of any of that mess. But we need to have an actual queue here, so I will have that come out like so. That is connected there, but that will be connected just like that. We have opportunities to put other things in here. Obviously, the trees cost money to remove. Sometimes it's going to be kind of unavoidable to get rid of those, but what I can do is I can just use this tool to get a little bit of cash, take care of that, and do the same thing over here. Just make sure this is set appropriately. There we go. Over here, there's a lot of gardens, and it's a little weird to get through, so I'm just going to put in that cut through there, and that cut through there should reduce most of the suffering for these guys. See, these paths are just completely pointless. I'm just going to get rid of them. I did have half a mind for a second to go ahead and put in some of those no entry signs, but we're not going to need this to be here. So that is fine. Most of this is okay. This doesn't go anywhere, but this is a great place to put roller coasters. So I'm going to keep not all of this path here. Wait a second. Can I actually build I can build a railroad crossing for... How long has that been a thing? That's got to be a new Open RCT2 thing. I'm going to attempt not to completely lose my mind and just, ignore that that was a thing. Of course, the mechanics over here just, doing mechanic things. Get out of there, bud. Come on. I guess I'll just take this path away as he makes his way back. The staff will get lost, just like a regular guest, so you can't just dump them off in the middle of nowhere. All right, come on. You're almost there. Oh, no. Come on, find the path. Find the path. Good job. Proud of you. A little bit. All right. Up. There we go. That's taken care of. So now we have a functional kind of miniature railroad. I'm going to boost that to 3 trains. I'm going to also have to change the color scheme here. How about a nice dark blue? Sounds good to me. And what are we doing about admissions. How much have we made? $50. Sounds like a good time to raise that fee to 10. And how about we give him something to do with all of that admission money? We have an $8,000 loan. Maximum goes 16. So I'm just going to leave that as it is. I'm also okay. They're gonna research scenery. That's unfortunate. For this scenario, I'm going to, I guess, probably keep it on thrill rides and shops and stalls, because this is a pretty healthy selection of coasters. It's only a 2-year scenario. We're probably not going to make enough money to build a giant coaster. But having thrill rides, including go-karts, is going to be something we always try to strive for. And this is a decent selection of shops and stalls. You already know. You already know what we're doing. Time for that information kiosk. Get us some $10 umbrellas. No, the 10 goes there because they are paying to get into the park and not for any rides, so they can pay for umbrellas at a premium. That will be fine there. Information kiosk number 2 goes there. I do like to put those next to the train station exits. And same kind of deal over here. So that gives us 3 of those. They're going to want bathrooms and all that jazz, but you know, that will come in due time. I'm going to go ahead. First things we build, our favorite pair of coasters in Whoop-de-Doo land. Just get that put in right there. Put the counterpart right like so. Perfect. And these guys are cool because they have an on-ride photo. So I'm going to charge $3 for the on-ride photo. Probably will sell a decent number of those. Get this opened up. Get those windows closed. We have to put in paths, but that is not a big deal at all. Let's bring that there. And then I do have to rotate this. There we go. Now we have a pair of coasters. Very easy to get into the park, making some decent money with that. And this space right here is calling our name for some food-related items. Burgers can go up to $2. We have cotton candy I'm going to leave alone for right now. French fries can... Okay, that's probably fine at $1.50. Hot dogs, you already know. $1.50 for the hot dog. And the drinks are going to have to be separate, but those can also be priced at $1.50. Bathrooms have to have somewhere to go. So I suppose here is fine. Yes, I am going to charge 20 cents for the bathroom because we have to be able to pay for things. That's fine there. And that's probably about as good of a start as any. We do have other options for roller coasters and stuff, but we don't have the funds yet. Got to make sure they do what they can do. I'm also going to have to hire some handymen and go ahead and get that second mechanic. Hey, now it's raining and we get those $10 umbrellas sold. Hopefully. Are we actually selling those? Okay. They're not like flying off the shelves, but we do have only 80-something guests in here. I suppose that is okay for now. Who's on the railroad? 15 people. Got to get those numbers up. But now that it's not raining anymore, that should be a little bit better. How much is it to build? So we have the spinning wild mouse. We have that custom coaster. I think there's a spot here. If I get rid of the pathing, I think I can put this right here in the corner. And that I can. Let's get these paths switched over to what we normally like to do. There we go. That is open for business. Give them something to do in the back corner of the park. We don't have other thrill rides yet, but I will reluctantly, I suppose, go ahead and build this twist here. Simple ride, but you know, still a decent thing. Decent way for these guys to get off the path and start actually riding something. Hold on a moment. This must be an open RCT2 thing, because now I can build path crossings for this. That's crazy. That's a very useful thing. Well, hey, we got go-karts. We got go-karts. We'll build one of those in a little bit. But this space right here is really calling to me. It says, I want to be a roller coaster. And I think, I don't have the cash right now, but I think, no, I don't have it. There's another variant of the Wild Mouse, the steel one. That's got, I think it's the Flying Dutchman Gold Mine would be a good one to put in here. So that will be something we kind of have to wait to get unlocked. Oh, I haven't researched roller coasters. Okay, well, they got a little bit of time. Remember, we only have to have 1,100 guests. We're already at 300, and we're only in May of the first year. I think we're going to be okay. It's just going to be, you know, one of those things that gonna have to try to stay on top of stuff. This would also be a great place for a roller coaster, but I do not think I'm going to have the time to get the money necessary to build a giant one. Unless I start raising the park entrance fee a lot. Oh, I already missed that. Let me get that even number. Let's go to 20. And of course, they'll happily pay that. We'll keep that at 20 for a little bit. Build a little bit more, then raise it to 30, maybe 40. Let's see, this guest came in with $80. This guest came in with $70. This guest came in with $90. Wow, okay. Yes, we can afford to bump up price a little bit. Just have to have the cash to build some more cool stuff. Are they actually paying to use the bathroom? 6 people. Okay, well, you know, it's not hemorrhaging money anymore, so that works. Balloon stalls. Oh, yes, friends. Who doesn't love balloons? So I'll tell you what. Let's randomize that. $2 for a balloon. That should be all right. This is going to be another good place to have food stuff. Oh, that reminds me. Guess what? We don't have any trash cans anywhere. So I like to put those on slopes because, well, you can't really build much of anything else on slopes, at least not that would be useful. So slopes and corners seems to be a good place to do that. Let's get a little bit more in here. I think for right now that is probably okay. You don't want them to have all that garbage just kind of floating around in the middle of everything. Put in some of these. Oh, they're standing there to take pictures of the train? I don't think so. Now it's time for sitting. Alright, what did I miss? What did I miss? Go-karts, okay. Hey, there we go. Steel Wild Mouse coming in hot on the 5th of July, and I think that's going to fit nicely here. And I think I want to pair that with the go-karts once we have access to that, and that should be very, very shortly, because there's July 5th. Okay. Steel Wild Mouse. Bring that bad boy up. Flying Dutchman Gold Mine has scenery and vehicle design that's unavailable. This is not the same, but I guess that's fine. Bring this in here. Oh, I need $3,800. Okay. All right. All right. Fast mode it is. Just trying to do it the legit way. Just gotta wait now. Hopefully. Yeah, just give me another, like, 15 dudes coming in here. And I can build a coaster that will make me absolutely no money. What a concept, huh? Keep in mind the construction of this game, this scenario is going to cost more because a lot of these trees and shrubs and stuff have to be removed, and that costs money that we normally would not be spending. I cannot keep cash on hand. Okay, it is a little ridiculous to wait for all this. I do realize that. But I know as soon as I go take out a loan, it's going to show up anyway regardless. Yeah, I don't want to wait for this, and I don't want to make you guys wait either. Alright, so that's that. This is the Flying Dutchman Gold Mine. This is going to be our entrance queue for it. There we go. It does not have an on-ride photo. That is regrettable, but it is what it is. Still a pretty good coaster. They'll come in and they'll start riding it as soon as it is completely tested. And This right next door is a great opportunity for us to put in, not a super complicated one, but a decent go-kart track. If I start out, say, here. So how many? I guess that's fine. I do want to have a little bit of interest here. I guess. Yeah, see, that's not going to play nice here. Hold the phone. I forgot. We have access to the sweeping curves with go-karts now. Well, this is not the right place to be doing it anyway. That was one of those updates, I don't know, like a couple months ago maybe, that I just completely forgot existed. But, no matter. We have the ability to, do some other cool stuff, or cool-ish stuff here. Doesn't really need to be that big of a deal. Can I put that there? I can. Very good. Then I can have this come out this way. Do the same kind of deal here. Let's give them a little bit of back and forth. And then we'll have this come this way. Go down into the corner. I don't think I can do a little bunny hop here, so that is unfortunately all that I'm going to be able to hop in like that. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these station platform tiles, which means I should be able to have 7 carts? Pretty sure. Let's see what this says. Hey, cool. But we also don't need to have 3 laps. 1 lap is fine in race mode. Should be okay. Again, it's free. If they are dissatisfied, they can have a refund of their full purchase price, which is $0. So now we got go-karts. We got some space right here to do, I don't know, something. Maybe it would be a good spot for another bathroom, or the bathroom could go down there. That is a decent spot. Cotton candy. You're now paying $1.50 for the privilege of rotting your teeth out. And, yeah, why not some beverages? That works. That gives them something to come over here and do. Hopefully drives park admissions as well. Okay. Seeing that looking pretty healthy, we can probably afford to raise those now. So let's go up to 30. Get those guys doing what they're going to be doing. These are all... Wow, we have 17 in the queue. Who's on the 42 on the right? Okay. Okay, so this is working kind of. Do we have any hot spots for vomit anywhere? I do not see a single speck of it. Alright, well I'm going to consider that to be a success. Already halfway to the goal and we're in August of year 1, so let's go ahead and get this sped up. If you didn't see the time code already, this is a shorter episode, or I'm assuming it's going to be a shorter episode. You know how these things sometimes go. But I know we've maxed out our loan. We're going to have to build a couple more roller coasters, and we're going to have to justify, charging more money at the gate eventually. So I think it's about time to try to build a decent, not necessarily something crazy, but a decent coaster. The lay-down roller coaster, huh? Okay, these are kind of, okay, that's nuts. That's $62,000. These are a little expensive. Now, I do like the wooden twister. That's a pretty cool coaster. $7,500. This one has 0.2 higher on the excitement thing. This is a very easy thing for us to build. I'm pretty sure the only reason this is up that high is because we have all of those trees. But I also don't have any way of knowing. Well, easy thing for us to do here is just to go ahead and build this. It interfaces pretty nicely with most of what we're trying to do. And I can put these right next to something. Doesn't have to be a super long queue. Just has to be a queue. Okay, that's not enough. I can just go straight down. That is never going to be enough. So instead what I will do is I'll just have this come in that way, and then this one can come... Nope, nope, come on. This one comes straight down. Alright, so wood twister 1, so on and so forth, etc. Get that one going. Get these guys in here. And do something with all this. Now I do have to wait and get a little bit more money up here. Alright. Congratulations, you are going to be the first ones to pay $40 to get into the park. Absolutely unfazed. Nerves of steel. There you go. Or credit cards of steel, platinum, whatever the stupid thing is. People are even using credit cards to do stuff like this in 1999. I do remember the manual credit card imprint machines and the ka-chunk or whatever sound when you would you'd run that over the card to make the imprint in the carbon paper or whatever. Very specific memory for me to have as a child who did not have a credit card, but let's increase our revenue capabilities here by putting in some additional food purchase places. Remember, we've already synchronized our food cost, or what we're charging for it, rather. Food cost is a different metric that tracks how much money you are spending on food, not receiving from it. But this is going to be a good place for another information kiosk also. Just buy the stuff, increase our profits. Look at these guys go. They love this coaster. 36 people on the ride. I think that is full capacity. Or it should be. Yep, certainly is. How are we looking here? 16 people on the ride. Obviously this one can only go to 7. But if we check our stats here, total queue time is 6 minutes. Go-karts 1 was great. I sure hope so. Who doesn't love driving go-karts? Well, I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody who doesn't, but I think it's a good time. Yeah, this is that weird glitch where you have the twister. Wait, hold on. No, the inverted roller coaster and the compact inverted. I was just reading without thinking. These two, for some reason, in my game, always unlock at the same time. Very strange. But the twister coaster, I want to say, is one of those big steel ones that I probably cannot build. Oh yeah. So this is the one I think Grapevine was. Yeah, $18,000. Okay, that one was only 10. Did I see that one was 8? Ah, but that's like baby's first roller coaster though. Whoa, $188,000. Okay, we're not building that. But we do have 820 something guests in March of year. I am sorry, folks. This is a short episode. Because we're going to be good to go pretty much immediately. It's not going to be a very good thumbnail, is it? I guess I'll just have to rely on the natural beauty of the... What kind of tree is that? Because I definitely... Oh, it's a magnolia. What? That doesn't look like a magnolia tree. I thought it was a cherry blossom tree. Although I guess in 1999, when you only had so many colors, that's about the best you could do. No shade intended. Okay, thrill ride. Is that going to be... what was that? The spinny, like, bench seat thing? I don't remember what it's called. Hopefully that's what it is. I like that one. That's a good thing to just kind of put in random spots. Alright, well. Oh, of course it's not going to tell me there. I have to wait until it gets built. See, look at this is just begging for a nice big coaster, but I need to get some more cash first. This right here would be a great place for a flat ride. Hey, top spin. That's what that thing is. On the 30th. Alright. We'll take that. I like this one a lot. It is just so dead simple. Where's my... There it is. It's just so dead simple. Let's bring that way, get that connected there. That's going to give us an opportunity to put a simple building there, but I want this to be in intense mode. Alright, so that's going to work out nicely. I already have an information kiosk, so that's probably not a tremendously good thing to put there, but how about a bathroom? Rotate, please. Thank you. Of course, 20 cents. Very good. What's this one pulling in? Wow, it's actually making a profit. Cool. Okay, this is bugging me with these fences here. I feel like I am duty-bound to fix this. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to do all of them, but that is something that we can find ourselves doing. I guess that works out okay. I know nobody can see that, but I saw like the 2 or 3 pixels that were showing there, and I knew I had to fix it. Okay. Let's see, right here, this is begging for a good coaster. And I think what I'm going to have to do is start breaking up all of this stuff so they just have an outlet. Of course, these guys are going to, still go all the way down here, but I know I could have put the no entry sign, but I don't want to. Just as simple as that. No, you idiot, get out of here. Get out of there. There. Okay. So now what I can do is I can come in here. I'm going to take this off at triple speed because this is only a 2-year scenario and I've only been recording for 26 minutes. I like it when these episodes are like an hour-ish, but this playthrough probably is not even going to have remotely enough of a chance to be an hour long. So I reclaim all of this path, which for some reason picking up dirt off of the dirt gives me money. Seems kind of exploitable, but, is what it is. Getting rid of the gardens costs $5 a piece. But we're going to need to... Oh, they're complaining about the paths, huh? Okay, which parts of these are actually bad? Okay, this is a little gross here. Well, I'll take care of it. Not that big of a deal. Ooh, the launched free fall. That's a good one. That is a very, very convenient ride for us to have access to now. Is this going to fit here? Can I rotate this at all? Let's rotate the camera so I can actually see. I'm going to swap that. I'm going to say that, yes, this does work. So, get that in. No, I didn't want that to be cues. Get out of here. That will be fine for this. Go ahead and open. Too bad you can't do on-ride photos on that thing. Probably make a ton of money. But, anyway. I've got space here. I would love to put a decent coaster. But I think it's going to depend on what I can afford. Compact inverted coaster might... Okay, some of these are just sad. That's not terrible, honestly. It does not look completely awful. That's going to stick out the end of the park. As long as I can build what I need to build without, causing problems, then I think that's the ideal thing here. That's $10,239. I do not have that much. So, speeding up time it is. Something tells me I'm not going to get all of my money by doing this. But that's the way it goes. I just need that to say about 10.4, 10.5, and we should be good to go to put this thing in and construct some paths. And that is, just like clockwork, a beautiful moment in which we get all of our umbrella purchases going. I think I want to justify getting rid of all of this. So, I know that the flowers are the flowers, but I need this space. I need it for scientific research purposes. By scientific research, I mean roller coasters. So, I'll get rid of those. Take this out of triple speed because I would like to actually play a little bit of this. And that was one of these. Oh, don't tell me I'm not going to remember what it was. I should have memorized all these combos of numbers. Something's telling me it's the one at the very end. Yes. No, that is absolutely not it, but it does have on-ride photo. Okay, well, I guess I could also look for the one that was like 10,000 bucks. Wasn't that? Am I just completely insane? The answer to that question is most likely yes. I know it wasn't this one. Was it under corkscrews? How could I possibly forget? Yeah, that thing. Well, this is very disappointing because I actually liked that. I thought it was cool. And now I can't remember what it was. Deja Vu was cool, except it never worked. It was always broken down all the time. But maybe in this version of the game, it doesn't break down all the time. Also, it's cheap. So, oh, there's so much pathing for this. Actually, let's take a moment to rotate that. Aha. Okay, cool. Neat thing we can do is this. That works. Now it's Deja Vu. It's open. Don't break down. Now we actually have space for something else here. And it might attract guests a little bit better. Okay, how are we looking? Ooh, the next one means I can bump it to 50. Alright, cool. Yeah, Disney can charge like $300 to get in there. Like, forget that. But that is today, and this game does not take that into account. What else? What else? What else? What else? What's the last thing? Suspended swinging coaster. I don't really care about those. I think I would rather have shops and stalls and cheap stuff. But you know what we forgot to do? We didn't put merry-go-rounds. We didn't put a haunted house. Well, there is no haunted house, but you know how that one goes. I'm going to pop in this here. That's going to create the ugly in the corner, but I guess it's probably fine. I'll just get that popped in there, get that music going. Should have built that probably first. And in honor of the haunted house, I will build the crooked house, which does not have to have a queue, because, well, you're gonna wait in line to go in a house that has a capacity of 5 that no one's gonna go in anyway. There you go, problem solved. What else? What can I put here? Balloons seems like a smart thing to pop in. Okay, we got to get some more handymen in here because these things are full to bursting. And I don't feel like we have an inadequate number of... Oh, this is gross over here. Alright, Handyman 2. Your job is now to clean up the barf over here. That's it, bud. That's your only task is to do that. Get over there and get to work. Okay, that's broken down. How are we looking on... Okay, we need another mechanic at the very least. If he immediately answers a radio call, we need to add one more. But it seems like we may have escaped that. Yeah, what the heck, I'll just go to 10. 10 handyman's fine. Alright, so it's June of year 2. I've got 1,000 guests. Park rating isn't, you know, perfect, but it's way higher than the 600. I'll tell you that much. Things are progressing nicely. You know, Deja Vu exists. This has always been just so cool to see him fly through the station like this. I mean, now I understand how the thing works, but, you know, when I was young enough to actually be going on this stuff regularly, I was like, okay, how does that work? But nope. Just has enough momentum somehow to go through all this, go most of the way up this tower, come right back, and then there you have it. I really could use one of those on-ride photo sections, but you know how it goes. I think I've got enough cash to build something else. Dude, these laydown ones are pretty big. Yeah, that's too big. There's always the classic regular wild mouse. We have Virginia reels. A couple of those are convenient size, not these, but... Vehicle design unavailable. Yeah, okay. But this is a nice, simple thing we can pop in here. I guess there's some sort of alternative design Virginia real tub for those guys to go and do that with. Still have some flowers, so that does still look pretty good. Regarding the train, 98 people on the ride. That's what I'm talking about. Reverse freefall coaster. Is that the one with the linear induction motors in it? Yes. Oh, these are cool. These are cool. I always would try to build the super long ones and make them go really fast, but they never did well because, you know, it takes so long. Guests would always just, like, not care about that anymore at that point. Alright, this is a decent spot for that to go. You already know how this works. There's basically nothing else you can do except linear induction motor powered launches. So, leave that as what it is. Give them a nice big queue that they probably don't need. And it's just cool to watch them go just like that. So they will do that when they want to do that. Let's get this on triple speed. See how close we can get to 1100 before we, you know, want to start wrapping stuff up. I don't think it's going to be a problem. But you never know with this stuff. 1060, 1065, 1070. Okay, yeah, we got it in the bag. But that doesn't mean we have to give up now. I do always like to repay loans whenever possible. And it's only 16 grand, but, you know, might as well do it. Already have almost the 1100 guests there. So I guess, even though this isn't the most like exciting amount of stuff we've ever put in a thing, we have in fact beaten the game, beaten this one at least. So I guess we'll go ahead and do our end of episode stuff as I have this on turbo mode. I love this series. I love this game. I'm so glad we get to do it and not have to worry about, oh, there's only going to be a couple hundred people watch the videos. I don't care. I mean, I do care because I want the channel to do well, but I want to have fun playing games that aren't always just beavers. And Beard Boosters, of course, do make that directly possible with their contributions to support me and support the channel. Make it a little okay sometimes to say, you know what, let's just have a day once a week where we can play the roller coaster game and then go right back to the deluge of beaver content on the following day. But yeah, I really appreciate you. We're going to come out of the time-lapse now and put our name in the list, and that's going to be all she wrote. All right. I don't know if you would have caught that at the very end of that time-lapse, but we did pay off the entire loan at like 1 second before this victory screen popped up. So, yep, like I said, that's all she wrote. Let's pop our name in the list, and that is going to be all from the roller coaster land for this week. Whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we'll see you back again soon for more beaver fun and more roller coaster stuff. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.